Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes weekly webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I have two 8x8 paper pads that are wonderful for creating masculine cards. Cards for the guys. We have Father's Day coming up, birthdays year round. These paper packs are for you. So we have from Memory Place, Vintage Woodwork 8x8 and Industrial Chic 8x8, and this one is from Asuka Studio. Guys, together they make cards like this one for my guy. This is our giveaway card for this episode, so if you stick around, you'll learn how one lucky viewer can win this card to keep or share with a friend. So come play with us. Let's take a flip through Industrial Chic. This contains 8x8 double-sided papers. So let's take a look and see how many of each one you get. So it looks like 3. Okay, I love the graphics. And then on this side, we've got like book, script here, book text, lots of layers of paint and chipping and all things kind of grungy. And then here we've got some documents, layered, some numbers, love the arrows and the directions, some paint splatters. And then this side, it's kind of a navy blue, all kinds of graphics. And then I'm not sure what these are, if they're documents or some sort of numbering system or maybe a warehouse, but love the distressed look of these. And then on the other side, this one I used on the card I showed you in the opening, and we'll show you how I did the flip here on both of them. Love this layers of sort of teal and tan and black. And then this one's so cool with the denim pocket border. And then we've got more denim and paint splatters and lots of layering going on here. Look at that with the like industrial lockers. And this one, am I missing one? Oh, I think it's stuck to the other one. Okay, we've got navy blue here, white and gray, torn paper right here. Flip that over. That was the other side of that one. And then this one, the gorgeous dark brown wood with the stenciling of the numbers. Looks like that was saying tickets and some splattering here. And then all of these labels and things on this side. Very, very cool. All right, so the card that I show you in the opening, this is our giveaway card for this episode. So how that works is we are trying to promote our Paper Wishes YouTube channel. So if you're watching us on our webisode page right now, we ask that you hop on over to YouTube and then subscribe to Paper Wishes on YouTube. Like this by giving it a thumbs up, like this video, and leave us a comment. And then after about a week, we'll come back and we'll say congratulations, and we'll use YouTube username of one viewer to recognize them as the winner, because after all, we only know you by your comment, by your YouTube username. So you've got to know what that one is. And then you just need to follow the instructions to claim your card. It's a good idea to hit the notification bell in the top right-hand corner so you know when we're making announcements. We do card giveaways on our videos for Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So that'd be great if you participated. So this is a slim line card, okay? So let's measure this one. This one is about 3 7/8 by about 4 1/4. And for this one, I took this background paper, all right, and I just trimmed it slightly smaller than the card, and then cut a strip of paper from, oh, I forgot to grab that one, but it is from this one, I believe, with the, yes, with the dark wood on it. And just cut little notches in that, and it's about 1 inch wide, okay, and about 7 inches long. And then inked the edges with everything using gingerbread ink and then my little favorite applicator tool. Inked the edges of the paper, inked the edges of the card, inked the edges of this paper strip, and then you guys, I used some Dazzle stickers. These are new for us. These are silver mirror. Well, we have had them in a pack actually. Now you can buy them by the sheet. And so I used, there's 2 sizes, this thick border, and then there's thin ones, and I just added the strips right here. Then I went ahead and used a circle cutting die And I used what was left on this sheet of paper, and I die cut a circle out of this. And then inked the edges with that, and then glued that down. But I left a little spot right here that was not glued because, you guys, I wanted to use some, pausing, cutting dies. These are new cutting dies. This is for Delightful Dimensionals for my guide. Now, you may wonder why some of these are gold and some of these are silver cutting dies. And that's because this is a prototype. These are supposed to come in like tomorrow. And so I had to grab the ones for that we use for making our projects way ahead of the shipment coming in. So this gives you an idea of what it looks like. We have the manufacturer go ahead and send them to us, and then if we want changes, they usually send it back in a different color metal. So these ones have not been painted like these. All right, so this one has the cool little motorcycle on it, but the motorcycle has layers to it. So I used Glamorous Gold Miri cardstock to die cut the motorcycle. This is the motorcycle like handles and then part of the engine right here. And then I also added the wheel, but the wheel is from silver cardstock, which I forgot to grab, but it's listed down below the video in the supplies. So the wheel gets glued to the motorcycle, and then this piece right here, I took little bits of foam tape and I foam taped it to the motorcycle. See if you can see the dimension there. Isn't that cool? When gluing down the cardstock, I like to use like little tiny bottles with our Cosmic Shimmer glue in it, or you could use the glue press. Okay, both very, very handy when you're dealing with little pieces. And then I went ahead and die cut this grouping of gears and cogs and things, and I from silver cardstock. I just tucked that below the edge here and then just glued that down. And then this piece right here for my guy, I die cut this twice. I die cut it once out of black cardstock, and then I used a scrap of the gold cardstock and die cut it again, but really just trying to get this little lower part with the gears on it. I didn't have to die cut the entire thing. And then I just took my scissors and then I just cut that straight line, and then I just matched that up and glued it right over the black piece so that it just has a little sparkle to it. And then right here, I added these gold mirror round dazzle stickers just for a little extra sparkle. So yeah, if you have a motorcycle guy, or who doesn't love a motorcycle, this would be great. So this is our giveaway card. I hope you guys like it. All right, so next, here we go. Oops, gotta move some stuff around. Here we go. This is actually a 5x7 tent fold card that I use my little scoreboard. Grab that. And then I just opened it up and I scored it right here at 3.5 inches using that little bone folder so that it would fold like this. Okay, made a little Z fold. And then I inked all the edges around the card with Prussian blue ink and my little applicator tool, okay? And then I went ahead and I cut some paper. So let me grab this one. I just loved this paper with the denim and the pockets. So I cut that one a little bit smaller than the 7x5 on the back of the card, inside back. And then I took some of this paper, oops, it's upside down, and I used it right over here and cut a panel also just smaller than this panel, and then the rest of this right here. So that was easy. Inked the edge of those pieces of paper and then glued them down. I even inked on the fold lines, so when you fold it and unfold it, you see blue. All right, then I added some thin line black stickers, and here they are. They're just really, there's so many of these tiny little thin lines. They create really nice little borders. And then I took some black cardstock, and this is, let me see if I can find it, the navy print on this one. It's on the back of this one. I went ahead and I cut some of this down. Let's see how big my rectangle is here. This is 4 by approximately 3 1/4. And then I foam taped it to a little black cardstock. Same with this one, okay? This was white cardstock. Inked the edges of this one and then put some of those little border stickers on there. Glued this one and then foam taped this one just so it's foam taped to the front of the card. And then this one I wanted to make sure it was covered so that it lines up perfectly. Then all of these little paper toll pieces, this comes from Homeward Bound 3D paper toll. This one's a great one for anybody, but if you're having trouble finding things for guys that are like a little different than the, you know, like the good old pocket watch or something like that, then this one, the camera is so cool. And then of course there's the hot air balloon, and then there's a little postcard for greetings. But you just take some foam tape, and we like to use our giant wheel of foam tape. There's 150 feet or 50 yards of continuous 1/2 inch wide foam tape. It's about 20 bucks, so it's a great deal. This thing will last you forever. And just put those layers. This is layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, layer 4, and you're just putting foam tape between each layer so that this cool camera has these bits of dimension. I glued that right here, and then this piece and this piece are what we just call extra art. So these pieces down here are just little extra things that you can glue to your card front. Nice to have. And that finished off the card. Oh, I should mention though, the greetings, happy and then birthday. So my trick for this is when I get my card all done, then I add my greeting. So I always know what my intention for the card is going to be as far as the sentiment. But sometimes I'm like, oh, I didn't leave enough space. So don't be afraid to take the little blue script greeting dazzle stickers. They come in a set of 3 different sets of sentiments, but they're all in this really nice shade of blue. And so then happy and then birthday when they open it. Kind of gives you extra space. Now I could have put birthday over here. Actually, it was just a little bit long, so I hid it over here. All right, let's see what else we have. Okay, so for this one, you guys, this is a 6.5 by 5 inch card. And I used for this one the vintage woodwork. So let's take a look at this one. Set this aside for a moment. All right, this one's great. So let's see, you're getting 18 double-sided papers, 3 of each design on this one. Okay, I don't know about you, but I love having different kinds of like barn wood to work with, and this is a great collection. This one's kind of got some painted wood on it, some distressing, some white wood on it. This one, sorry, grabbed the wrong one here. So we have 2 kinds of white wood. We have the brown, this is one white wood, this is another white wood. Then this distressed one on the back. This one's so cool with the painting here, and then it looks like it's been like fire burned from here up. All right, and then another sort of medium wood. This one is very blonde wood. This one's very dark. Another medium blonde. And then more of this one. And then this dark with, this is a really nice rich brown, and then it gets dark around the edge, and another painted wood. All right, so let's go to this one. All right, where I took, on this one, I'm gonna try to line up which papers I used here, so we'll do the best we can. All right, so I took this one and cut it just slightly smaller than the 6.5 by 5 inch. Inked the edges with that. I love using, of course, the gingerbread and the applicator tool. And then, you guys, I used a cutting die. I used the tag, actually, from our Tag in a Bag cutting die. And I cut this out, this tag shape out. I die cut it 3 different times, 3 different pieces of the wood here. So do you think I can maybe find them? Let's see. Okay, this top one, I did use this one. And then the next one, I used this one. I'm doing pretty good. And then finally on this one, I used this one. And inked the edges of those and then just layered them. And then of course, this is the full size tag, then cut it down smaller and smaller each time, aligning it with the left edge. And then I added some Dazzle stickers. These are pickup truck Dazzle stickers, and they come in a 2-pack. This one's black, of course, and this one is kind of a bronzy brown color. I used the black one, and I used, first off, to decorate the little tag, the little die cut holes in the tags. I took this little gear, and it's actually 3 pieces. You have the outer gear, then a little circle sticker, and then a little round sticker right there, and put those there. Used this one right here. I like to use a little pokey tool to remove these, and I just pulled this one up, set this one down right here, and then you guys, I just took my little pokey tool and I just pulled these stickers up just like this with my pokey tool and set them down in the right place. And I did leave a few off. I didn't do the windshield, I didn't do this little hood ornament, and I didn't do the grill, and I didn't fill in the tires because I wanted those to kind of stand out. So that's how I filled that one in. Usually I back them with paper. I just wanted to try something different this time. Let me know what you think about that. All right, so then I went back to our cutting die here for my guy, and I used this one right here, and I die cut it from metallic silver cardstock. Remember, that's the one I forgot to grab. And oh no, I didn't. It's here. It was buried on my desk. Yay! So here is silver, chrome silver mirror card, right? And for that, I just put it through the die cutting machine one time, and it's quite a large piece here. And then I took my little glue bottle, or as I said before, you could use the glue press. It's also very fine tip glue. And I just put some on 1/2 of the die cut image and then set it down here, turned the card over, and then took my scissors and then just cut that even with the card. Took what was left of it, put more glue on that end, turned it over, set that down, and then that's just even right there. And then we've got our greetings here. The celebrate is from Inside Outside Dazzle stickers. We call these Inside Outside Dazzle stickers. We don't always use them how they're meant to be used, but the idea is that you would say, you make me smile, and that could go, or you are my everything could go on the outside of the card, and then you make me smile could go on the inside of your card, or sending warm thoughts could go on the inside of your card, and you could use sympathy on the inside. So we wanted to give you some different things to put on the inside and the outside, but I of course didn't use it in that way. I just used the celebrate, and then I personalized it with family and friends Dazzle stickers. I used Dad right there. We've got a great little either Father's Day or birthday card. All right, so the last one I've got to show you. Here we go. So here is for those of you who love wildlife. So this is a 5 by 6.5 inch card. This one has kind of a different opening on it. It goes like this, and you open it like this, and it's really easy to make. So for this one, I just took my card, as I said, 5 by 6.5 inches, and from the card front, I was trying to say card front flap, the card front, I just cut away 1 inch from the card front. All right, and then cover the whole thing. Well, first of all, cover the whole thing with paper, okay? I made mine just a little bit smaller than the card. Then I cut away 1 inch from the card flap. Wow, card flap. So that's why it looks like this. And then I took that long wheel of foam tape that I was showing you, and I put foam tape all the way down this strip, and then I just attached it back to this card, so that when you put these double circles on there, you just hold it right there and it flips open just like this, so that it has a nice little closure on it. So very simple thing to do, and I think it's kind of fun. So for the double circles, you guys, I used this center one here for the 12 circles and scallops. Let me give you a measurement on that first. That is the 3 1/4 inch wide circle. And I just glued one over the other, so they're just kind of staggered. And then I used this Foggy Forest chipboard set, which is so fun. I took the little moose and I colored him first with gingerbread using the applicator tool. And then I just used the surface of Velvet Fawn, meaning I just took the straight ink pad and I just went over the edges, the nose, the little, I don't know, what is that? The little beard under under the moose. And then also the antlers on the hindquarters, and then also along the hooves. And then glued that here. And then we've got all these little Christmas trees here. I inked those using khaki ink, and then went on one side of them using holly green. And then this one I forgot to grab, but I used charcoal on this one. And then I glued, foam taped, and then foam taped just this half of the circle to this piece, right? And then over here, added a brown and gold dazzle sticker. Oh, I forgot to tell you about these down here. So these are the little trees. I used this one and this one and this one, and inked those in the same method. And I glued this long border down here. But then I was still short a little bit after I put this border down of the brown with gold dazzle stickers. And then this little piece right here, this piece, I foam taped it right there, so it would be on top of this piece. And then this last little tree, I just wanted something to go on this side. So it kind of looks continuous, right? As a little border. All right, so then adding more of those brown and gold border dazzle stickers. Make sure you do that before you glue this here and before you glue this down. I mentioned that before. So here, and then on the inside, just took a little leftover scrap of paper for this side of the card. Another one of those little circles, colored in this little elk. And then we've got some really cute little green fern dazzle stickers. I used to use the smaller ones to decorate over here. Another one of those borders. And then for the words, you guys, I used the brown versions of the script greeting dazzle stickers. Once again, they come in 3 different sentiment sets and all brown, and they're all in one collection. And this one, you guys, it's just for you, is in one strip. Don't forget, you can alter these. So I just cut them down because it wouldn't center on this, and I wanted it to center, so I just cut this one just for, and then you is separately, and then I trim down the edges a little bit. So that was just a really easy thing to do. All right, so I think I've gone over everything. I feel like I have so much to show you today. All right, so you guys, we have this great collection of these cards for the guys. Don't forget that they use our fantastic new cutting die, and then all of these other elements that I brought you today that make great cards for the guys. So don't tell me that it's hard to find stuff for cards for guys, because Paper Wishes has a ton of it. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget we have the money saver right there on the right-hand side. All of the items are listed down below the video, so if you click on the full color cards, you'll get a very detailed list. If you're looking for one of something, one of the paper packs or what have you, just look down below the video. All the items are listed. And if you're watching us in our webisode page, or Paper Wishes YouTube channel rather, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps out our channel. And then if you're looking for the link to this webisode page, just look below the video in the description box, and there's a link that'll take you to our homepage. Thanks for joining me, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.